I wanted to give you some lecture notes on Chapter 4, Lesson 2.1, Slavery Expands. Why don't you pause here and just read the success criteria? All right, now that you've done that, okay, we're looking at causes and effects of these things. Okay, why did slavery expand? Now, if you go to the textbook, okay, let me bring that up, you'll notice that I give you some of the causes here, okay, and some of the effects, okay, so everything, and then some of the effects down here. As a result of all of these things that we'll go over quickly, we started to see slavery expand in the colonies. All right, so this first one, the fertile land and the mild climate. Okay, first paragraph. So when I go over here, you can see that starts the first paragraph. And because of that cause, we started to see cash crops. We started to see specific crops like tobacco, rice, and indigo. But as you know, rice was difficult to manage and grow in this. Well, I take that back. The colonists found it very difficult to grow and manage in that swampy area. They had no experience with it. Okay, as it says here, so they depended on slaves from swamp, that lived in low um, marshlands who knew how to cultivate rice, and so that's why we begin to see this uptick in slavery. So if I go back here, we should see here, okay, the fertile land and mild climate makes it very suitable to grow cash crops. Those cash crops include, rice, indigo, and tobacco. Okay, rice was particularly difficult for the colonists to manage, and then they began to um, depend on African slaves who knew how to cultivate rice. All right. Then here, all you're going to tell me is give me a definition or description of the slave trade, and then start to go through here and look at the population of slaves, how it increases from 1660 to 1770. Okay. And as you know, there is a nice little feature, Control F, which is Control Find. And if you type in 1660, it takes you right there. And if you type in 1770, it takes you there. So you can do that for all of the dates here. Okay? Once you do that, you now want to explain these causes. The fertile land, describe what they were growing, the cash crops, the fertile land and the climate, and then give us the cash crops that were produced because of that, the results. Rice cultivation was hard for the colonists, so plantations depended on what? And then we started to see the slave trade, right? And where did they go to get these slaves? And then year by year, the slave population starts to tick up. Okay? Use that to help you turn in Slavery Expands.